Baltic Brand Talks, podcast about all things creative and trending.
Welcome to Baltic Brand Talks. I'm Igors, strategist at Fit Consulting and more recently co-host of this podcast. In this episode, I'm joined by Una Umule and Patriks Kirkils to explore how two different brands can collaborate successfully, creating value for both brands and their audiences, taking the SEB and Bourzma partnership as our example. Una Umule is the youth segment marketing manager at SEB Latvia. She grew up in an entrepreneurial environment with a mindset of building things, solving problems and staying curious, believing that fresh ideas can shake up even the most traditional industries. Outside of the office, you can find her on the water with the stand-up paddleboard or on the road with her motorcycle, chasing that perfect balance of adrenaline and calm. Patriks Kirkils is a creative executive producer with over 5 years of experience. As the co-founder of Bourzma, he leads sustainable fashion initiatives and creative campaigns that have organically reached over 100,000 people. While building Bourzma, Patriks is exploring and developing creative tech side, which is M&B production. This side of him is designing venues, stages, performances, and more. Una and Patriks share their insights and key learnings from this collaboration. We also dive into the topic of youth financial literacy and discuss how to build a community-led brand from the idea. Patrik, Una, hi. Thank you for joining me today. As you maybe know, we usually have just one person here for a deep dive interview, but today we're doing something a little bit different. We bring representative from two different brands. I would even say quite different brands. And the reason behind it is because we actually want to talk about brand collaboration. But before all that, let's start with introduction. Maybe Una, let's start with you. Can you tell us a bit more about yourself, about your role at SEB, and these kind of things?
Hi, Igors. Hi, Patriks. I'm really happy to be here. And about my background, I'm working in SEB Latvia already for 3 years, taking care of marketing for the youth segment. And I'm in SEB already for 10 years, and I started actually like an intern, and step by step I got a chance to explore different segments, working with different kind of projects, and I was really interested in these things, and I started to learn more about innovations and product development, digital marketing, project management, and here I am. I didn't actually thought that I will be in a bank, but here I am in a bank with a rich history, a strong roots in Sweden, and they are positively shaping the future with the responsible advice and capital. And I'm really glad that I'm part of this company. So yeah.
Okay, that's nice. But also, I think your position as a youth marketing manager, it's not something, at least I personally haven't seen that often in different companies. I don't believe it's like a very regular position that every company has, right? Do you know if it's like a new position that was created like this few years ago when you started, or it was already present for many years?
Yeah. Actually, for sure, we will come back to this question later on also. But it's actually a new position, and we made it. It was made before these 3 years. So
you're the first person taking this role.
And actually, we were those persons who, with my team, who understood that we need to have more time, and you can give more money, but it doesn't help. You need also a person who is dealing with that, you know. So our managers understood that we needed some extra persons to really manage this segment, and to create these connections with this new generation.
Yeah, but you're totally right. We're definitely going to be talking more about new generation, their relationships with finance, and how banks can approach this. But maybe before that, we also introduce ourselves to Patrik. Maybe you can tell us about yourself and also about Bourzma's story, because I believe maybe SEB is more known brand than Bourzma for our listeners. So maybe you can tell us about it.
Okay, I'm gonna try to keep it short, but I can't promise because we are still working on that, simplifying the concept of Bourzma, you know.
Your pitch.
Yeah, but basically about me, when I finished high school, I thought I'm gonna be electronical engineer and gonna be very about physics and hardware stuff. But it turns out during my university years that I'm more into creating experiences. Mostly that came from events and festivals I visited during my university years. And then I started to work on like projection mapping, stage designing, some like installations, art installations, step by step. And then we got to this point where we started to discuss with my friend that Mix, who is like also co-founder of Bourzma, but unfortunately he's not like working with us anymore. He chose different path. But what happened during this year 2022 was that we noticed, like, while we were organizing these events, that we approached, like different venues, different maybe like potential investors or sponsors, or about these ideas of how we could do the events. And we noticed that there is like a big gap, as we believe that we have like a lot of places and venues where we can go and have like a party for Friday, but most of these places are missing like a concept or something that, you go there, there's like culture, there's something to talk about, content in some way. And and then as we had this like thought, we noticed that secondhand stores are a lot of them in Riga, and especially Gen Z, younger people, they are super into that. There's like are a lot of like factors like economical situation that also we have a lot of these secondhand stores. It's something affordable for younger people. And we had the idea that we could do like a pop-up with one of these like young local brands, because like as we are like event organizers, we need some like brand or something to work with, right? And it came out with the idea that we're gonna do 3 days festival, which was really not smart idea. We had to learn a lot, like really a lot, and it was like a lot of stress, a lot of surprises, and all these kind of things. But from my perspective, I would say that it was nice that we went this way, because we were basically just like put straight into that, that it's not like you're slowly trying to understand how to get in, but you like just jump in straight away. Okay, you have like maybe some mistakes, which are not good, but especially as we were like 22 and 23 years old, it's we are working with young people. Also, like we don't have, I don't know, big sponsor who gives us like a lot of money, and we have these responsibilities we need to take care of. Then it's like a sandbox, So yeah. And from that point on, we did, like that year, summer, we did this first Bourzma Boutique Festival. The idea was to only do this festival and that's it. But at the end of the year, basically more like autumn, around that time, Ghetto Games invited us to Medicines for World Ghettos conference at the end of the year. And in this conference, they invited us to tell about what we did with the festival. And then Raimons Elbekens gave us like very inspirational kind of monologue about that this is the thing, we need to push it, we need to build something out of this. Then we started to think like, okay, what is Bourzma, what we can do with it? And I would say for the next 2, maybe 3 years, it has been basically, we have been building it project by project. But for example, like this year, it was the first year when we had like a time lapse for the whole year, because before that it was I could answer you what we're gonna do maybe like 1 or 2 months later, but I don't know what's gonna happen like half a year. And so now we are like really finalizing how the structure, what it is, how to present it, what we are focusing on. Also, like this year we are working a lot of building like inner departments, because before that it was like can you help me?
Everyone does everything.
Yeah, and then because also like all of us, we have also things on the side going on, like our businesses or careers where we are making also some money. And then this is more like a hobby project which we are trying to build into a sustainable business also.
You mentioned these departments that you're building now. Maybe you can tell us more about the team behind Bourzma, like how many people currently working on this brand and what the responsibilities, except just for you.
We are 5 core people in the union. We have these who make the main decisions, if you can say so. And then we have, for example, we just opened this Bourzma studio store also. We have a team of around like 10, 11 people there. And then we have on the July and August, almost every weekend, we have like workshops or projects we are taking part of. And then for each of this project, we have a bigger group or chat where we have, I would say, like 30 people. And then when a new project comes up, we post it. And then who has time and willing to participate, we gather up and then we meet and then we understand like how many we are. We understand how we're gonna split. What's the like focus points on this like project? What we need. What's the priorities? And that's basically how we put on together the team. But on daily basis, it's usually 10 to 25 people maybe working on different projects. And like the departments that we have of course the marketing department, because like that's the mostly what we are doing with, creating content, the ideas. And then we have a construction department, which is taking care of for the festivals or events to build the venue, the place, which is very important for us. We can probably get to that also. And then we have the workshop department, because our upcycling workshops is one of the core things what Bourzma is doing. And I can maybe tell also about the workshops, upcycling, what it is, or...
Yeah, definitely. Tell us everything.
So basically about these workshops, the idea is that we have like this Bourzma Boutique Festival, which is the main event for Bourzma each year. And that's like one direction. Then the second are these upcycling workshops. And these workshops, the idea and the main motivation comes from that we want to teach society and people around us what is sustainable fashion through these practical approaches, So in my opinion, that's like how people learn way more better. They understand way better through like physical, practical workshops. And also to show them that it's not rocket science or something, very difficult. And it's also possible to do it at home, like with basic things. And also during these workshops, our designers are those who teach you and show you how to do these things. And in this way, these visitors can maybe get in touch with them, like get personal contact. And in that way, they follow them, they connect, they start to maybe go to their workshops, support them, buy from clothes from them or other services maybe. It's like way more meaningful than only just find them through like internet and press follow button, And that's about the workshops.
And actually here I can approve what Patriks is saying, because today I also have a jacket which I designed in Bourzma Boutique Festival. And before that, previous year in the Christmas, together with a team, we went also to these upcycling workshops, and together with a designer copy, I created by myself a jacket from 2 pieces. And I'm not the person who are good at this. And it was like 2 hours, and the copy was like, wow, 2 hours. How did you do that? And I was shocked. And the result is incredible. So, and those pieces was what I were like not wearing at that moment. And now that's my favorite jacket, and also this one. So yeah, I guess it's like a nice opportunity for everyone to, even if you don't know how to do it, there is those persons who are helping you and advising what you can create from that, and yeah.
I really want to highlight your commitment to this jacket, because it's like 30 degrees outside today, but you anyway came here with the jeans jacket, which probably wasn't your first choice regarding the weather
It wasn't, but I felt that that's it. But I already mentioned to Patriks that when I created it, that this will be my summer favorite one, and yeah.
Okay, I really like how both of you haven't been expecting that you're going to be doing what you're currently doing, both from your side and also from your and the Bourzma side. And I also really like how Bourzma is a lot, not just about sustainability, that's maybe something that we see, but also about community, how important the community is for how brands operates and also how people find these designers and each other and can build meaningful connections. And actually, speaking about meaningful connections, as I already mentioned, the topic for this episode is to talk with you about brand collaboration. And it's something that we've seen quite a lot these last few years. I'm personally a very big fan of different brand collaborations. Few that are worth mentioning are Absolute and Heinz, who created this tomato vodka sauce, or maybe Crocs. They really love to collaborate with different brands to create a new design for their shoes. They collaborated with EasyJet, they collaborated with Pringles, they collaborated with KFC, like a lot of different collaborations they have. And from maybe finance industry, if we talk about it, then I know that we have a brand Monzo. It's not operates in Latvia, but globally, and they collaborated with Greg's sausage rolls to create this ATM that gave you sausage rolls instead of money. So I believe this brand collaboration topic opens a lot of possibilities for creativity. But of course, every successful collaboration, same as a love story, starts something. Somebody texted someone first, you went on a first date, somebody thought something and maybe liked it or disliked it. So my first question is how this collaboration started, how this all friendship, if we can call it like this, started. And I somehow have a feeling that maybe that's something you can start with, and then we also move to your point, because again, as a love story, there's definitely two sides to
One
this.
who started that.
Yeah, basically, we sent out the first email to SEB, and that was like we didn't get the partnership straight away, but it was because of the timing, maybe some other factors, and but the response was not that no, this is not for us at all, nothing like that, but let's keep in touch later, maybe again. And then we were a few months later, we sent out the second email. We put in more work, more research, and this time we got positive answer. And this was for the Bourzma Boutique 2024, which happened last year. And it was very important that we got this partnership, because that's like our third festival. The first two of the festivals were like, I would say, like super underground and very small scale. And this year we wanted really to scale up, and like having partnership like this, that's a very big step forward to make it like to scale it up.
Mm-hmm. Maybe there is also something you want to add to this this story.
Yeah, actually, it started that we really received this email from Bourzma's side, but as Patriks already mentioned, that it was really wrong timing. It was that, if I'm not mistaken, it was April, May, when we have like the busiest time. All campaigns, events are out, and I checked that email and I was like, oh my god, this is so cool, but not now. Like really, like we are planning the year in the autumn, and then if the year is already planned, so it's hard to take some bigger collaborations. So we, even if we wanted, we couldn't, and also our resources and everything, it was like already split it, and we couldn't like jump in. But yeah, as Patriks mentioned, it was like we really liked the idea. We saw the connections that we could make, and actually at that moment I didn't even like so much dig deeper. I just like went through and I saw some key things that I really like, and yeah, we answered that please come back in autumn when we will plan the next year. And it was really like that, because it was wrong timing. And yeah, when I came back second time, then that was the time when we were really searching how to be there, where is our segment, this new generation, and and here comes Patriks with the team and they project. And actually what was interesting that we didn't like they wrote us their view of this collaboration, but we saw something more. And of course they can't know that. And I think it was really good that we had this first meeting where we started to talk word by word, and now we are here already the second year.
I want to highlight Teresa's part here. She's taking care of our partnerships communication, and this is also she came on the team for the third year of the festival, and she has a background working in also organizing events like Tech Chill and doing creating these partnerships and sponsorships. Because I'm maybe I have like a bigger vision or like ideas how we could do the partnerships or how to whom we can reach out and how to get in touch with them. But what I'm really missing out is that for me it's very hard to sit down and to put together email with the constructive, with all the points, everything in place, correctly written. And that's why I really appreciate that Teresa is on our team, because she's really good at that. And then it's a good combination between of us to onboard partners and then do all these collaborations.
And actually, I think that's one of the strongest thing on their side, that they really have split these tasks, because it is like Patriks is saying, Teresa is the person who is putting everything together, basically writing down and etc. So it's really important, and she is also checking if all things as done and what we need to do next and etc. And that's really important from our side, that they are taking care of that, and she's also taking care that Patriks is there where he needs to be at that time and etc. So I think a lot of organizations, in my experience, are trying, one person is trying to do everything and etc. And I think it's not needed, and you need to split, and one is better at that and another is better at that, and etc.
Well, I hope Teresa is listening to this podcast, because a big shout outs to her. But if I understand it correctly, this first initial email, it was more about this financial sponsorship for an event. Probably none of you have expected that this sponsorship gonna grow in actual collaboration with a lot of different cool things that we're also gonna talk about it. But also in terms of marketing, I believe, and the research proves it, that these collaborations, they can be highly efficient and effective for a brand, and it can gain you a new audience and can make your brand more culture relevant. It adds additional emotional layer to the product. But at the same time, when two brands from completely different worlds work together, it's important to stay true to your own brand, because otherwise your audience gonna be confused what are you doing, why they're collaborating with them. So what I want to ask you is there something that unites SEB and Bourzma? Well, of course we know the green color unites you quite well. It's a match made in heaven.
That's the only reason.
But maybe there is something bigger, like values or mission or something where two of you can match.
Maybe you want to start now.
Yeah,
it would be interesting for me to hear.
It's actually really interesting to hear also
having this conversation.
Yeah, but SEB, we want to be present where the future is being shaped, and in schools, hallways, large scale events, and with communities that are raising active and thoughtful and motivated young people, and usually we support initiatives that have a positive impact on society. And I think Bourzma is a really good example here. They are taking care of the society, that they are getting this knowledge about how to recycle and etc. So here I think we are on one page.
Yeah, that's also what I thought, is that we want to educate and help these young people to start, because that's the hardest part, is to find ways how to start, get these first experiences. And that's also what Bourzma is doing, that we are also kind of like a platform, and we have this community, and that community is not only designers, but it's also maybe people who want to organize events, or people who are musicians. It's not only artists, and through these projects, we have some people who only hop on for maybe one project and that's it. But that's how we can give them this first insight, or the push, or maybe through this one project they get in touch with other partner or like other company or bigger company, and they get like work there or internship. Like we have also people from our projects who are now working in our partners companies or sponsor, like who we are collaborating with. And yeah, that is important that we are providing this platform, and then it's important that we have partnerships like with SEB, where they can come in with educate, help these young entrepreneurs, artists, and give the first insights and knowledge how to start to manage their money or get the fundings and these kind of things.
Yeah, and I think like we have something that they don't have, and opposite, you know, that
That's
we are
perfect.
exchanging.
But what I hear is that both of you have this kind of message that you want to deliver to the youth audience, and you can do it with the help of each other. And at the same time, your messages, well, they're quite different. What you want to teach them or show them, it also can connect in some ways. But I believe might be even more to that, because, for example, as you mentioned, you sometimes need to attract the sponsors for your events or different kind of things. But for example, sustainability, that was how your brand started in a way. It's still an important value. And for example, I believe you wouldn't be working with a brand that goes completely against it in some way. And again, there is something where SEBs align quite well in the way that is also that sustainability is also important for SEB.
I would say like, of course, sustainability, it is important, but like in today's world, like everyone is using that word, and that is like connective part. But I like to focus more on something more specific and other things which we are also connecting with and which separates us maybe more from other brands and other similar projects.
Okay.
But sustainability, of course, it's like when we have like now after, I would say after last year, but really after this year, brands and other companies and people are reaching out now to us. Now we don't need to, find who to write. That's nice, but as you said also before, we can't collaborate with everyone. We need to stay true to our values and what we stand for. And that's, I would say, what we are also learning from our side, inside our team, like, I don't want to say any brands in name, like, specifically, but, like, this brand, like, Texas, and they are, like, doing gambling, supporting gambling, and they are offering us, like, big money, but we can't go with that. Otherwise, like, we get this partnership.
Yeah, that would be a red flag for us, for example,
Right.
So
that's
and actually I don't see like them. Actually, we had a chat with the Patriks about this, and I mentioned to him that I don't see that Bourzma is cooperating with this kind of. It's like clashing for me. If I'm checking from the side, it's like really clashing, and yeah. But I think for all companies, we also have a sponsorship policy and etc. But here, what we saw also in Bourzma, it was this entrepreneurial mindset, and we are like supporting also these entrepreneurs who want to achieve more and who want to do more, and we saw here that we can be part of that and help.
Okay, but also it's a quite interesting perspective. You mentioned that something that you do affects you in a way, and something that you do affects as well your brand. So it's actually as in relationships. I think
it's reputation risks also.
Okay, now when we understand this idea, how this all happened, maybe we can move to probably the most interesting part. We can discuss some of your favorite projects that you did together. I definitely know something that I personally like, but maybe we can hear from you. Una, do you want to start to tell us about some of your favorite projects that you managed to do?
Yeah, actually, I think I believe for Patriks to talk more about this Bourzma Boutique Festival as itself and how we integrated there. But two things, what I really liked, how we find and solve these connections extra, was one thing was summer achievement workshops, what we are creating already the third year. It's like 6 workshops for 14 till 25-year-old ones, and these workshops are about different kind of topics. And what we saw that they have a lot of designers. but they don't know where to get money for their business, know about fundraising, how to start a business, what's needed, and etc. So we saw that the first workshop was about this together with Bourzma, and then we continue with financial literacy. There was also coding, and this year also about investing, and also Patriks was this year on one workshop where actually we shared our experience with our collaboration. We showed also these emails, what is a good approach, what is bad approach, and etc. So this was a good one example. And yeah, I think it's good that we can also share with their community our knowledge. And yeah, we saw here some connections that we can give this value. I think I will come back in this podcast a lot about this added value, because when I'm like seeing some projects, I'm like checking, can we give here some value? Because I don't think that it's just about putting logo there. It's more like, if I cannot
definitely.
give the value there, so is it really like necessary to collaborate? And actually also those companies who are coming to us and asking, you can also see, do they see something more about just telling us, hey, you can put your logo here, 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 and we just need the money, or it's something more?
Yeah, I really like this idea that if we talk about sponsorship, okay, of course, it's so easy to put your logo everywhere, and but does it really effective? I personally don't really believe so, because it's
Yeah.
not connecting me with your brand. I don't understand what you're doing here, and like this added value that you
Yeah,
mentioned.
and definitely in all our cooperation projects, sponsorship projects, we are looking long term. And we, in the first meeting, I remember that we told that also to Patriks and Teresa, that if we are collaborating, then we don't want that it's like one time event, etc. It takes also a lot of resources from our side, and etc. And we want to give this added value. Yeah, but the second thing what I want to highlight from our side, like where we again saw this connection, is our Youth Lab internship program. That is something what we are creating on our side. We are giving opportunities for students to come internship for the summer for 2 months, and etc. And at the first it's like how it could be connected, but we saw that we could give a chance for these our interns to also participate in these upcycling workshops. So in the final event, Bourzma came to our innovation center, and we created a really nice upcycling workshop for them, and they were satisfied. So basically we are also helping to bring it more like further on.
That was a really nice event, because like they are finishing the youth school, and we are also being there, and it's Friday, and everyone's, just like very nice project to
It's
work
also
on.
nice how it's somehow exchange of different skills. You can maybe teach them how to fundraise, because it's not something that everyone knows how to do. But at the same time, you can show to SEB interns how these workshops and promote different ideas. Like it's a real exchange here.
Yeah. So this was like what I mentioned. This was like projects which we saw from our side, how we could connect. And then there was I will give the floor to Patriks. Then there was this Bourzma Boutique Festival where we also, I think, had like a really nice ideas how we could integrate again, not only putting logo and etc., but go a little bit more further.
Okay, let's hear about it.
I'm gonna do a little bit like a brief. What is Bourzma Boutique? So basically, it's a 2 days festival now, not 3 days. Never again, please. And so it's 2 days. First day is the fashion shows. We have Bourzma style and Bourzma fashion. It means that Bourzma style is more like for maybe beginners, or like maybe something who it has like still as a hobby, or it's more like a streetwear. And then the Bourzma fashion is more like academy students, more advanced designs, and that's like how they separate. Because it's very important for us, how we have been talking here, that we give like these first steps for people who doesn't have maybe the resources to start. So it's important that we have this Bourzma style category too. And then second day we have this designers market, but it's not only for designers, also for different discipline of artists. And then we also have this our upcycling workshop. This year it was the biggest till this point. Went very successful. At least my opinion, it was full all the time, and a lot of people participated. And then we have around that brand activations, different kind of also workshops like beat stations, tattoo stations, and things you can imagine. And then we also have this concert at the end. And this year we also had for the first time street dance battle. And I think it was very successful, but because it was something new, and street dance is more like a niche thing. So also designers and like fashion goes together with dance, But like that's about what is Bourzma Boutique. And then when it comes to our partnership, what I want to highlight first is that SEB helped us with supporting the grant for the winner of the Bourzma fashion category. And why I want to highlight it first, because for me, only after we did last year's festival, for me it only hit afterwards that this is very, very nice that we can create a festival where also the winner gets real like financing support, financial support.
And actually, this was something that it was not like we didn't agree on that.
We didn't
agree.
Yeah.
It was not planned. It just came up. We saw that, hey, we want to do more. We saw that this fashion show this is something really nice. We want to give something more for those designers. They have, given so much time to that. And we just called Patriks, hey, we want to give 1,000 grant for the winner. And they're like, okay, why not?
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
Only this time.
and you know what? The feeling when you see that that person who is crying and really happy about that, and that we can like empower her job afterwards, that she can do extra. And because this grant is meant for her future projects.
Because like also Letici, who won the prize last year, from this money she went on a trip to one of the cities in France, which is like one of these like fashion meccas. And one trip like this, it can change like especially young people's like mindset or like goals or aim of the career, and that's very, very empowering. And then and also they helped us with of course the financial side to make it all happen. And also, how do you the stand zone you had in the?
Yeah, I think about this, of course, like all companies, we want to be visible there. But from our side, we thought, okay, this is a really specific community. How to really like integrate it? And we were thinking, okay, so they have designers. We have new cards made from corn. And we were like, okay, can you make something from us from corn? And they were, yeah, why not? After a few months, we have an outfit and a bag made from corn. And we created our place there. Putting this dress, made from corn, and our cards, and asking what else you can make from corn, popcorns, etc. was there. So we were trying to more like somehow integrate in this community, and I think it really worked well.
It works like then like these people who visit, they really go there and they dive in deeper. Like, okay, why there is this corn dress? What's happening here? And
Yeah.
then they learn about these cards and get more into
So,
that.
so we basically found some connections, and then the other thing, what Patrick's mentioned already was this designer market, the second day. And in these designer markets, we ask Patrick's and Therese, hey, but how you can pay there? Can we support with our posts on phones and etc.? We can give some extra offer for those designers and etc. So, and from our side and from marketing side, of course, it was really nice that we could create also content. Content about these with these designers, about these posts on phones, etc. So that's also added value, that it's like real story from these designers.
I also want to add that we also did the last year the panel discussion. I think, in my opinion, like panel discussions are very nice thing to have and host, because that's not, I don't know, like presentation or like bigger document where it's like a lot of valuable information, but especially in today's world with the small attention span, like people are not getting into that anymore that much. And when you have these conversations, like also we have now, I like them. You can maybe not like just sit down and listen to it, but put it on like while you are doing something simple, that you can also pay attention to what the people are talking about. And that's like real life stories, how I know some insights or valuable information have been integrated into real cases. Because what I have noticed about myself, I can like read the theory, how to do it, how to not do it, but I only learn through practical ways. That's like how I remember, because then I have like this more personal connection with this information.
I was waiting for one of you to mention this corn thing, because it's personally my favorite. I saw it quite a lot online on social media, and some of my friends were talking about it. So I believe it's what you said. It's about this meaningful visibility, that you realize that it's a very specific community, that you can just come with your card and just talk about it. Yeah, it's a cool card, whatever, right? But if you find this way to be meaningful about it, to connect through it, and yeah, I think it's my personal favorite. But of course, there's quite a lot that you guys doing together.
Yeah, of course. It's I guess it's a lot. We can talk, and also this year, as we are more this year talking about saving and investments. So we were also in a festival this year with ice creams. Don't let money melt, and etc. Like, and it's like a small thing, but those persons are happy to also eat something there, and etc. So just being there, being being live,
Present.
present with that auditory.
It's also, I liked for this year the 4 videos we did together about the better decisions. It was basically 4 videos how one of the designers, she applied for the fashion show, she gets accepted, and then how she finished the final steps and participates into that. Because it's also for me, it's because I have like so much going on. I don't have the time to really dive deep into that and pay attention to that maybe that much, because we have other also talented people who are taking care of that. But afterwards, I have these videos and I can see the designer's way, and how it's like the decisions and how she's preparing, what are the obstacles and the challenges during this process. That is like really nice, and that you supported us, because it's not like a fast video. You just like go there, film it, and that's it. You need to put in some time and resources into that too.
Okay, but I believe we talked a little bit about this already. We mentioned some things. What does it take to have this successful collaboration? We mentioned Therese with her good partnership manager skills that are quite important, because probably someone more creative like you would be hard to put these emails and the reports and stuff like this, and about values. But if you need to make a summary about it, what does it take to have a successful collaboration between two brands? What would like advice you would give about it?
Yeah. So I already mentioned that. I will come back to that. I think it's what I mentioned earlier about this bringing real added value. For example, we are giving to Bourzma audience an opportunity to execute the creative ideas, while Bourzma help us to make these like financial literacy topics really engaging, for that auditory. And as I mentioned before, I think successful collaboration isn't just about putting that logo somewhere. It's about understanding each other goals, being aligned, and sometimes even being willing to like step back when it's needed. And yeah, I think that's kind of mutual respect and purpose is what make partnership works. Because because we need to also let that community work. And we need to give a space for them. And we are collaborating with them because we don't have what they have. And if we will come with our brand manual, hey, let's make our videos like this, that will not work. That will not work for that auditory. So yeah.
Yeah, I really, really like this idea about stepping back and giving this freedom because, of course, as you mentioned, you can't just bring a brief with 5 bullet points that we're gonna. Okay, of course, there is some things that you need to agree on, but if you talk about creativity, if you try to limit it, if you just try to put your brand guidelines everywhere, I don't think it can be as successful as, for example, this corn dress and
Yeah.
this, because it can be born out of restrictions.
Yeah, and actually for us, we are a company with really like a long history, and it's really important for us to to agree on some things, what is really important for us. And I think this was the challenging part, and I think that's why it was really challenging and interesting because it's always hard to find those way to this creative result, taking into account this brand manual. It's
Of
not
course,
easy.
especially if you're a bank, I believe.
Yeah. So yeah, this was a challenging part.
Okay, how about you? Maybe you have some different take on what does it take to have a successful collaboration.
Yeah, I'm not thinking about that. I think you already said everything. I want to highlight that it's as with every relationship, you need to take care of them. As the mutual respect, and also just having regular conversations about what we are doing, how we are doing, about just maybe exchanging ideas to let the minds open in more creative ways. Because as you know, a lot of times the best ideas come out just like spontaneously in random situations. And then if you are having these regular conversations about where we want to move forward, how we are looking to that, then it's like these ideas find your way more. These spontaneous ideas that you can also integrate into real cases. And what I want to also add here is that for me, between our partnership, of course, first time when you agreed to work with us, I was like, okay, this is going big time, And then you're like, okay, we can't mess this up, And then everything was nice, and as we also talked, that Therese is taking care of following that we do everything as we have agreed. So I'm not really following that maybe that much, and that's why for me, when we did this, we had this recap exhibition at the end of the year. It's another initiative we are doing, that we are organizing this a 1 month pop-up exhibition with workshops, multifunctional creative space. And the main purpose is that we all know Latvian gray, depressions and these kind of things, especially for younger people. And it comes the strongest is around November. But October is okay-ish. November is hard, and then December first part is also quite heavy for people, because we need to wait for the Christmas and also the weather outside and everything. And then we are hosting this place where young people can come, like everyone can come, and that they don't sit at home. You can see like you are not alone. You can do something here, just like at least chill. You don't need to work in the workshops or nothing like that, And I wanted, just like basically, that we did the workshop together, and I was asking you about like the music, like we did the workshop together, when about the music we can use or what like that, and you told me that's like your thing, we fully trust you, and like I don't know, from that point on, it really has gave me like maybe like a confidence or but that's like we need to keep with our thing, because that's like partners or other brands and businesses are working with us.
I like how we constantly came back to idea that partnership between two brands is quite similar to having a relationships with someone, and many things that work both ways. I do have some more specific questions to both of you, maybe less related to this collaboration and more related to what your brand does. Maybe we can start with you. We already told that your position is quite new. It haven't been in SEB before. Maybe you can tell me why this younger audience is important whatsoever for a bank, and is there different things that you do to attract them except this collaboration we already talk a lot about?
Yeah. This is our like future generation, and it's important to teach them financial literacy early on, that they know how to manage their first salary and make first investments. So when they are young, they still have a time, and and yeah, we are also collaborating with universities, offering scholarships through the Vital Foundation, supporting such children villages, and running initiatives like I mentioned already before, SEB School Ambassador program, where we are teaching about financial literacy and entrepreneurship, fraud, and other things, and also this youth lab internship program, also where we are like giving chance to youngsters to really practical common work. And we also support events and festivals that matters to young auditory, because I really believe that we need to be there where are these youngsters, and we need to talk about things what they care. And here, for example, I can mention Investor Festival. This was the first year when we supported youth stage. So basically, it was a stage for those who just want to start to invest and to know more, and yeah, also Checha Championship together with Tele2. This is a huge event for school childrens, and yeah. We are in these all events. We are talking about topics that they really care about, and yeah, as I mentioned before, we just want to be present where is our auditory, and not just waiting that they are coming to us. And that feeling, for example, when in this Checha Championship, when you get these feedbacks that those kids are writing you back that, oh my God, this was the best day in my life, and etc., then you feel okay, this is the thing, that you did something that they gave a value for them. Or for example, these school ambassadorship programs, where we also receive that, or where we see actually that those youngsters further on are coming to our youth lab program, and then they are starting to work in SEB. There is
and it's also similar to your story, right?
Yeah, it's actually my story. I also also started similar. So yeah, I think all these things what we are doing, it's long term, and yeah, we are trying to find these things what they really care.
But as a youth segment marketing manager, you probably think daily a lot about young people. You also think a lot about financial decision and finance, and this financial literacy that you mentioned is important to teach young people. how would you describe relationships with finance young people have in Baltic states? Maybe you can comment more about Latvia, of course, but maybe you know the difference. Is it somehow different in Baltic states, and how the relationships are in general?
Yeah. Actually, the young people are really like curious, but they don't always know where to start. And of course, here is our part, But especially if they don't talk in their families about finances, and we can see that. Also, my parents didn't gave me this financial literacy. We didn't talk about finances,
Right.
and in the school I didn't get that. So, but nowadays actually there is a lot of opportunities. Also, these our programs which we are like showing and etc. So yeah, there is really a lot of opportunities nowadays for youngsters to open up YouTube or some podcasts and learn more about savings, investments, and etc. So yeah, I think they need to start as early as possible, and yeah. If we are talking about Baltics, so across Baltic countries, actually interesting data from our survey, it's that the youth segment actually are that who has the highest share of people with savings.
That's quite it's not something I would bet. Okay.
But it's like that, and so it means that even for example, for me, I didn't learn from family. So it means that now they have these opportunities and they are like starting earlier, invest, save, and so on. And if we are talking about Baltics, in Latvia, 63% of young people age 18 to 29 have savings.
That's quite good, right? If I need to judge this, or there is a room to improvement.
I would say not bad. But let's see about Lithuania. Lithuania, 77%. So it's a little bit more. And Estonia is the best situation. It's 85%. So it's really, really good. So I think it's like we need another podcast if we want to discuss why it's like that and etc. But I would say that it's really important actually in families to talk about these finances because it's the way. I don't know what's your experience, but really, if you don't talk, I have 5-year-old kid, and now he started to save. And he's always asking me money, and I mentioned to him, so you need to think how you can earn the money. So he decided that he will go to the forest and take those mushrooms, and then he could sold to grandpa that and it was like, yeah, why not? Why not? You can do that. So like in each family, we need to teach how to save, how to give some pocket money, and etc. And we saw also from the surveys that in families, that pocket money. Parents are giving some pocket money, but they are not giving like. If you are giving pocket money, you need to give for example, on Mondays, each Monday, precise amounts, because also like we are receiving salary, we know that it will come, and that kid also need to know that that pocket money will come, and he's like planning his money, and he just need to learn already when he is young.
Okay, but I really like how you mentioned also this statistics, because it sounds, at least on my side, quite positive, and I believe there is a lot of change from a few years back, because as you mentioned, for example, my experience, I don't remember somebody teaching me these things in family or at school. And when I was first time receiving my salary, it was like, oh, okay, I have this amount of money to spend. It never even kind of crossed my mind that you can save or invest. No, there was not such things, It was something that I believe a lot of banking brands help you to learn somehow that there is such possibilities. So yeah, I think it's quite hopeful for our future generation regarding this financial literacy.
And actually this financial literacy is main obstacle for 40% of the youth when they are thinking about saving investment. And here I think what we can do, like as bank, as all these projects what I mentioned before. So all these Bourzma collaboration, investor festival, targeted campaigns, of course, and the school ambassador program, summer achievement work, all these things what we are already doing. So we can keep reaching out to these youngsters.
I know it's not exactly your field, but if you need to comment this financial literacy among youth and also maybe judging yourself, do you have any opinion about it?
I'm really bad at saving. That here. No, but it's what I wanted to add, like about what you said on that it's important that you give every Monday the pocket money. That's also what I noticed, but it is of course later, like I don't know, maybe high school or around that time when I understood that the time bad at the savings is that for me it was basically the I received pocket money in random moments, you know, or when I randomly ask, or each day something new. And for example, my good friend of high school, he was like receiving, okay, or maybe it's not important during the school time, each every 2 weeks one time, and then he was like putting the plan, how much he's spending, how much he's gonna spend. That's also how he said, and he was like really good with that. And but yeah, definitely now organizing also this like Bourzma, also starting with festival, you know, you need to put together the whole like plan, the whole budget, how much we need the money, like what's the bare minimum and what's the goal you want to achieve. And at least then you know like how much money you need to at least get that you can even like really start. That it's not like yeah we are doing we had like with the first festival we were still learning that, and then it was more like that we are doing and not really, we didn't have the Excel sheet with the whole like budget overview at the start. We only put it together after the festival, and that's like the worst way to do it, you know.
Speaking about money and budgeting and actually absence of money in this case, I saw that the Bourzma boutique last year or this year had this zero ad budget. So you needed to find the different ways to promote this event, and as you mentioned, it was quite successful. So quite a lot of people came there. How did you manage to do it with no advertising budget, but promoting it in different ways?
It was basically we had this idea. We were having talks about like putting out ads in the like public places around the city. We were thinking about it all the time, also in parallel. But as we got like a new marketing manager onboarded, and also interns and other people helping with the market, we had like really strong, I want to say and believe we have the really strong marketing team this year for boutique. So when we started doing this marketing, it was like we launched the event at the start of March, I think, around that time. And when we put together the plans, what we're gonna post, how we're gonna do it, and also onboarding the sponsors and partners, and as our strong side is this content creation, we understood that there's going to be also a lot of content with these partners. We were like, okay, let's put on the pause. Let's don't buy any like ads, and let's look how it goes. And because we had like so much content, and it was like in the collaboration posts and maybe some publications, press releases, and all these kind of things, then in an organic way we reached like I know, like the views or interactions on the meta, we had like 1.2 million, you know, and we reached like, I don't want to say it wrong, but I think like 300 plus or 400 plus accounts. And then, yeah, like 2 months or 1 month before the festival, we understood that, okay, we also basically we needed to choose, do we like pay, you know, maybe this amount takes to, I don't know, get some extra ads in the bus stops, or we put it to make this dance battle, you know, better on the spot, or the workshop, or maybe create another post or content. And then we decided to go this way, because honestly, this €0 ads budget, it was not on purpose. It was because now after the festival, there was this Creative Cup, which was organized by Leah, and what they did, they invited us also one of our like friends, she's doing social media marketing campaigns with other companies like agency, and then she noticed this about the €0 ads
So you
budget.
didn't know.
Yeah, like I knew maybe, but I didn't pay attention to that, And then she was like, "Hey, you did that, you did this, Like, oh yeah, we did that." And I started to dig deeper, and I took out all these numbers, and I was like, "Okay, this there's something and that's like something we need to really pay attention by ourselves. That it's like very strong side to us." And also just had another meeting yesterday about starting to planning and preparing for next year, right? And that we put that we need to really highlight this, that like with €0 ads budget, like because for marketing we had budget because you need to create the whole content, and that's not cheap. And but that when we gonna now go to maybe like partners and sponsors and get some funding, then we can go show this and say, imagine what we can do with money.
You have the first slide already made with this fact. But now, if you look back at it, why do you think this content performed so well if it reached all of this audience without any budget for it? What was the key maybe to success for this content?
I would like to say that first of all, that as the corn dress, that the content is relative to people and people who watch it. It's not like you just like, hey, buy this, and then you put like big logo. It's like through the storytelling or through like real life stories in highlighting the scenarios or exact moments when this I don't know, service product or anything you like about what the content is about gonna be meaningful, and that's like why it was successful, I would like to say. And also, as we have, it's a fashion show, at the end of the day, and like all the people in fashion, they like to take photos, pictures, put in stories, and that's of course also a big reason why we reached that many people and why we were so active.
So people participating also generated quite a lot of content for you as well.
And especially these young people, imagine like for me also one of the favorite parts during the festival is the fashion show backstage, because it's like almost 200 people buzzing like bees, like everyone's, where's my makeup, going like this. And for these young people, they are super excited to be there, and then you have like time to wait, and then they are also creating this content. Basically, we build a place for them to do like create all this content, to post it, to generate it, so that we take responsibility about the environment where to create content, and they take responsibility about creating the content.
That's really cool.
We are not
like this content.
Yeah, and we are not going there like we don't have posters. Please do photos on Instagram stories. Nothing like that. It happens organically.
Yeah. There is a lot of these organic things, like both content and the way you created this content. Also, talking about this Bourzma boutique, I noticed that you had quite a list of sponsors there for this event. SEB was the main one, but yes. But you also mentioned that you don't need to write to brands anymore, kind of that they write to you. Now you need to decide with whom you're going to be working with, that even sometimes you say no to them. How did you achieve this level, I would say, even of success, that the brands reaching out to you instead of you reaching out to them? And maybe also can combine it with some advice you can give to the young people starting their own business.
I would say, like, first of all, for this year that happened, it was still we were like reaching out to most of them, and it was basically as we now did the budget planning. We did the whole plan. We understood like which are the things we need to cover, like what's going to be the main expenses, like I don't know, building like stage, having makeup and hair. It's hair makeup for I don't know, like. To take care of her hairdressers and all these, like it's very dark. Not dark. Sorry.
Actually, I know that also my colleague Inga, she is responsible about small enterprise, and I know that she really liked the Bourzma idea and etc. And she also jumped in and mentored about some things and also helped. And I didn't even ask, like she just saw that she can maybe also give some support and to give some advice, maybe to move further.
Yeah, we also get in touch with her after this festivals. We want to let's say fix or create more like this business side for Bourzma. Then we can work with her more closely.
Yeah, because actually Patriks and the team came also to this one workshop, and Inges was there. And yeah, when you are like talking about the idea, it at the beginning it felt a little bit chaotic, like you don't know to what concentrate more and etc. And then Inge also took it like, okay, so hey guys, you need to like think where you will earn that money, where the money will come. So yeah, I think it's good that someone from the side is also jumping in. So here another like angle where we are actually like interested that they are succeeding.
And this collaboration is kind of growing, like every time you're mentioning something, you're like, oh, okay, this and that and this and this, and we educate young people about financial literacy, but we also communicate with these small and medium businesses for Bourzma, and there is a lot, and I think there is even more opportunities to this collaboration.
Yeah.
And maybe I can also ask you if we can accept more cool collaborations from two of you. Maybe there's going to be a new dress made from something else or different things.
I guess, yeah, for sure. Already this year we'll have more projects together. So follow SEB Latvia and Bourzma, you will see. But actually, I feel that this cooperation is really like rolling bigger, not even each year, but each day, because even other colleagues from different segments are like seeing some connections and already working on some cool projects with Bourzma designers. And we definitely see this as a long-term collaboration. And yeah, so we see these connections in different kind of things.
That's sure.
Have you maybe learned something from each other, not in terms of brand collaboration, but maybe just something that you didn't know before and realize it through this work together?
But like about your own brand or in general?
Just in general, whatever you want to say.
I for me, it's really like, as I'm trying with the team to grow this project and expand it. First of all, it's not like a typical business model, it's like a community festival, workshops, all these things we are talking about today. And it's very hard to figure out like the best scenario and the way how to go with it, because we also don't want to like, cut everything, just go one thing, because that's like not the idea of community and the Bourzma. And what I have learned from SEB and also Una, that as we are having these conversations in general about, it's not like, okay, we have a meeting, okay, you do that, we can do that, and that's it. But we are talking about the process, how we are doing it. And it's really, at least for me, it helps a lot to gain the confidence and understand how to do these things, or how to move like forward, or what's really matters and what's not, what to pay attention, what's not. Because like I haven't worked in like big festival before that, or agency. For example, I don't know like how much it's normal to ask for a partner for money, for running. I mean, like, and that's just like, you don't want to ask too much or too less, and these are the things. And that's like true, that you can have open conversation with the comments and also their opinion. Why? Not only because, no, that's so much, no, this too, like you can ask more, but that they tell us, and we also tell us them why we feel like we need that. They tell us what's the norma, how to do that, and what they can't help us. And that's just like really helping me a lot. Because yeah, like especially when we reached out the first time, it was like, if Therese wouldn't be there, the email first of all wouldn't be that good. But second of all, I wouldn't know like how much I can then ask, like what's like normal typical thing, how you approach. And what one thing is how much you ask, but also that what's normal that you give, from our side, what we need to provide. That like it's adequate, like
so
normal.
there is a lot of personal growth in this case for you
for
as
sure,
well.
definitely.
Yeah, we already know that you learned how to make a jacket. That was something new for you, but maybe there is something
Yeah,
else.
actually, this is like really, if we are talking about personal, then that's for sure. But yeah, actually, I also had a chance with this designer Kapi to have a talk and also got to know a lot of new things and etc. But I think that one of the biggest things I have learned from this collaboration is the importance of trusting younger generation, and especially if we want to connect with them. And at the very beginning meeting, actually, we told Patriks and the team that, hey, create content in your own style, your own vibe, because you know the community the best. And yeah. We needed to give Bourzma the freedom because they have all these designers, videographers, and etc. You know, and this I'm using also now in my campaigns that I'm really validating with, or even these campaigns are created by this generation. So I'm using this approach further on because that's what I want to reach, and not always I know what they want. Of course, we can check surveys, etc., but that's the person, that's the real people what we want to reach. So we are validating also with them and asking a lot of things. So I think that this is something, because it's, as I mentioned before, it's not easy for such a big brand to give the freedom for Bourzma to to create the content and etc. But yeah, I think that's also the success here.
But I think what you also said that probably these big brands should learn to give more freedom, not just in terms of sponsorship or collaboration, but also we talk about campaigns, as you mentioned, or collaboration with influencers or people creating user-generated content. Because if you're trying to oversee everything, it's probably not going to be authentic and it's not going to be true to this audience, as you also said. I think that's also a learning we can put to this podcast summary. That's something that people listening to this podcast should also take for themselves.
For sure, there is like a small line, because those brand guidelines are released, like not strict, but they are, and but there's also always possibilities to to check and still be in the frame of the guidelines. So and that's what we need to do.
Okay, I think it's a very nice ending for this part of the podcast, but we also have a few questions that we ask all of our guests. Just a short questions about your opinion. Let's start with talking about, is there any brands that you admire personally, maybe from the Baltic level, maybe from the global brands, and what is the reason why you like them, and something that we can also research on our site.
You want that I start? Yes.
As you want.
Yeah,
I
can actually. I was thinking about this because I think admire might be too strong word.
Okay. Yeah.
But I would say I'm more into supporting like local companies. For example, there is a small Latvian brand called Linman Store. And that's a really that I really appreciate. And they create organic clothing for the whole family using fabric made from nettle fiber and linen, and the quality is amazing. And you can really feel the care and passion the owner puts into every piece, and that's, for me, it's really important. So I'm not the person who's really like admiring those big brands. Of course, we are in this industry, we need to know about them. But yeah, I'm really trying to support these smaller companies who are just like starting. And actually, in this story, they started their business in garage, just like the big startup stories, And so I truly believe their journey will continue to grow. And who knows, maybe one day they will also sit here and become a well-known story across the Baltics.
I just wanted to mention that maybe we also should invite them to this podcast, because it's something that we like to do here, to talk with the maybe smaller local brands, but that they make something different, something not basic, and really have this founding story behind the brand.
Yeah, and I think for these smaller companies, there's also this what Patriks also mentioned about this ad budget. They are also not investing a lot, but this product, the quality and the added value, what they are giving for the customers are just like flowing in and etc. So and this energy what they can give. So that's important for me. So this is about more like local. It's not yet Baltic, but I believe and I really like this brand and yeah. But if we are like talking about global brand, I need to like admit that my 5-year-old son got me into Lego.
Okay.
And the more I looked into it, the more impressed I was. Because Lego is actually a great community. They have great community engagement. They involve fans and storytelling, co-creation, and even adults, So that's, I think, a big thing. And they also build smart brand partnerships. And they expand, what I like that they expand through different kind of platforms, from movies to videos, theme parks. It creates like the experience, and it's not only about the product. So that's and this is I was thinking what to mention, but yeah, this is something that really somehow I didn't before thought about Lego, but I somehow naturally started to investigate more and checked. So I really like how they are like doing things.
Yeah, I really like Lego as a brand myself, especially from this community side that you mentioned, the way they managed to build this community of adults as well playing with Lego. I think there is even a name for adults playing Lego that I don't remember now, but there is like a specific term how they call themselves, and it's also nice that you took this inspiration from your kid. It's also like how you can inspire
and
us.
You know what? I'm really interested to build those Legos also myself. So it's interesting, yeah.
It's a very meditative process as well.
Yeah.
Okay, how about you? Any brands you like?
Yeah, if we talk about local scene, I would say I really like the new upcoming brands like Mother Cosmetics and Calv coffee because for me I appreciate that as you also mentioned, Una, the local brand that they put their priority the quality, and that I think is the especially in today's world, it's like it comes also together with authenticity. And also, it's like really goes together with what we are doing with Bourzma and how we are approaching the projects. And that you go there and also their advertisement, it's like, it's organic, it's simple, it's not something like discounts, that is like, just like, yeah, we are here, remember, we are doing quality products, quality service. That's what I really appreciate. That you also, for example, you go to coffee shops and cafes, and you can sit there, and it's like very nice atmosphere, just like to be there. And it's not this like corporative or with oversaturated colors and branding. And when it comes to worldwide or something, how it has done in the history, for me, it's just like, every time I see some posts about how the advertisement was done in the 90s or 2000s, I'm like, how I would like to be in that time, Because like we all understand why it's not like that anymore. But for me, just like I get inspired, as I said, like as these like local organic marketing, or you do like something crazy, like you don't need to have like I don't know, like a big, very strategic strategy. Just like do something that everyone gonna talk about, go viral with that. And that approach that I really I'm passionate about, and I think we as a brand, as Bourzma, we are going like kind of in that steps. But my one of the dreams is to maybe like get a bigger budget at one point and do like a huge project, or I don't know, like for example Guinness World Record and something, and then everyone's gonna talk about it.
Okay, we're gonna be expecting some crazy things from your side. And
I don't want to promise anything, but that's like my goal or dream that I would really be happy that we can do at some point with Bourzma.
okay, and if we talk kind of related about this inspiration, maybe you can share some sources of inspiration for you, because we always ask this question. We try to combine the answers, so we also know this good ways of getting inspired, which is of course important in our creative industry. Maybe we can continue with you as well.
Yeah, actually, for me, of course, I'm reading books and listening some podcasts or etc., scrolling internet and so on. But actually, for me, I'm getting the inspiration from people, from movement, from nature, and communities. That these are like the best ways for me to recharge and get this inspiration. And also different kind of this collaboration, what I mentioned before, when I see this work on progress and when I see the result afterwards. And when I receive these feedbacks, that give me this energy to move on, to do more, and yeah, basically get this inspiration for the next projects and so on. So yeah, I think that's about my inspiration.
Okay, and about you, because I believe for you, inspiration is especially important when you're building your own brand pretty much from scratch. I don't think it's possible without any inspiration. So, how about you?
My inspiration, it mostly I would say it comes from two ways. It's also the podcasts and yeah, just like really listening to people how they were in maybe also somewhere in the beginning or without ideas and like how they came up with something like quite unique. And also another thing is I have been spending quite a lot of time in Berlin and also living and traveling around like Western Europe. And there, for example, like in the same Berlin, I have like local friends who also have like art designers and have their local brands and like how they do the marketing in big cities like that, because they also don't have any money and they need to do like maybe some guerrilla marketing, but you can take that same approach and integrate into like corporate world or something that you can do legally. And
Yeah.
but what I want to also add here, coming back to those crazy ideas before we talked about the first brand I really got deep into, it was before Bourzma, was Brewdog. You know about Brewdog? It's like basically when the craft beer just started, and they were the two guys, friends from UK, and they got like super famous in like very short time. I think like few years. And I read their book, and their marketing campaigns were basically okay. Like UK, because of the whole history, they have like super random rules or laws, like also in the States. But for example, they had like they banned in like several medieval times the 0.3 glasses or something like that. Okay, maybe not that early, but not important. And then what they did, they created a new beer, and the marketing campaign was that they took a tank, they went into the city of London where all the banking and everything is, and put out like banners that we want to have back those 0.3 glasses. And then the campaign was like, of course they get accepted because like why shouldn't they have them? It's just like random law we still have for a few centuries. And they have already prepared everything in the bars, everything that they can launch. When they got accepted the law, straight next day they can serve that already. They are the first ones in the whole, UK. And that's very effective. And that's also, it's not, if you look from that side, that it's the budget is not like any big at all, You only, okay, it's not easy to get a tank.
Yeah, but it probably costs something.
Yeah, but if you can, I can be sure that you can find through someone somewhere in the countryside a tank or something,
Everybody knows someone. So now we know what kind of crazy things you meant when you mentioned it. It's actually kind of related to my last question. Is about your moonshot goal or your ultimate success. You kind of mentioned you're doing these crazy things or Guinness record, but is it that what you would call your ultimate goal, or
No.
there is something more?
I would say like my ultimate goal with Bourzma is that I want to create this Bourzma Boutique Festival that it's this one time per year where maybe from I would say the whole Europe, but the focus would be on Eastern and North Europe. That all these like young people, young designers, young artists come together to Latvia, and we have like this sustainable fashion festival, and it doesn't go into like a fashion week type event, but it stays like this like not underground, but like like
niche in a way.
yeah, like it's organic. It's like not over marketed, not over saturated. It's like very organic, and it happens here in Latvia, and it's like for people from other countries, it's like a unique experience in some way to come here because of the forest, the nature, everything. And that we create like this internationally known sustainable fashion festival. And it also has this lifestyle around it, the concerts, everything. It's like a celebration in some way.
Okay, it's something that definitely would put Latvia on the map of this in
Yeah.
this field. Anything from your ultimate success goals?
Yeah, actually, this is a really big question, and here maybe I want to continue this financial literacy topic because my moonshot goal is that every young person who starts earning money, even from small things like birthday gifts, pay themselves first. What I mean is they spend what is left after saving, not say what is left after spending.
Okay, that's an interesting
And
switch.
yeah, and that saving should be 10 till 20%. If this happens, then my life will be easier also working. so yeah, but yeah, for me, ultimate success is when someone says, "This brand made me feel seen or heard," or "This product changed how I think." I think this is the real success if we are like talking from work experience.
I just was thinking that maybe we can give gifts as form of savings already, so if a person doesn't have a chance to spend it, it's just like somehow a way we gave him your next savings. I don't know if it's possible, technical or whatever, but yeah.
Yeah, it's possible always.
Okay. Well, thank you to you both. I
Thank you.
think we can stop here. But for me, it was very interesting. Something that I didn't know before. A lot of this depth of building this collaboration between two brands, but also quite an inspiring your personal life story, but also your professional story. So I believe our listeners will also find something to take with them after this podcast. Thank you.
Thank
you for coming.
Thank you for listening to Baltic Brand Talks. I hope you enjoyed this episode. A big shout out to Play Studio for providing technical support and the space to record. Be sure to check them out for anything related to video, audio, or animation.